Hello and welcome back to The Right Part. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 tips that are guaranteed to make your LEGO sets look infinitely better. To help me explain my point better, I'm going to be using the Hogwarts Express. This set is a pretty good embodiment of all the tips and tricks I'm going to be showing you in this video. Now this, in case you haven't noticed yet, is my modified version. I've elongated the nose boiler section by 2 studs, and now it looks way more in proportion. And that is my first trick. Make sure to modify the sets so that their proportions are more accurate. The original Hogwarts Express had a pretty short and stout nose. This made it look a bit chibi-fied and a bit cutesy Thomasy vibe. However, the actual Hogwarts Express, the real-life train model, has a very, very long snout. And the snout section is about 3 times as long as this part of the train here. I'm obviously no train expert. So I decided to modify that, and now it looks way more in proportion. Believe it or not, this mod isn't actually that hard. All you need to do is run a longer plate down the center section and attach just 2 more of these plates onto the sides, and the modification will be done. Believe me when I say that many of these modifications sound harder than they actually are. Another thing I did was that I moved the secondary spout back by a stud, because on the actual model there's way more of a distance between the primary boiler and the secondary boiler than there is in the model. Coupled with the elongated length, it now looks way more size accurate. Now onto my second tip. You should always include more detail. Just sure, if somebody looks at this from the distance, they probably will not notice all the greeblings and engine details you have included. But if they take a closer look and discover these small, minute detailings, it will be a much more rewarding experience. So that's exactly what I did. I included a small engine section in my Hogwarts Express, and this is my entire engine build. If you want to replicate this, you can pause the video right now and build it. However, this detailing is something that you have to remove, like a engine panel, to discover. Most people will call that a bit unnecessary, and I kind of agree in that aspect. So I'm going to show you another example where the added detailing really impacts the overall visual image of the model. And that is in the passenger section of the Hogwarts Express. Originally, the passenger section looked like this. And you gotta admit, it looks kind of spindly and really thin at this part, which looks kind of silly in my opinion. So all I did was that I used 4 elements and I constructed this little base section. So now when I attach the build to the underside, there's much more visual weight over here, which really helps balance out the 2 ends. And this brings me nicely to my third point, and that is to fix your vehicle interiors. Now, LEGO is a toy brand, and kids don't really care about how good or bad an interior looks. So LEGO doesn't really put interiors into all that high of consideration. So if you want your LEGO models to look better, I recommend that you improve the interiors a bit. And that's exactly what I did with the Hogwarts Express. First of all, I tiled off the bottom 2 ends, and then I included a small table between the seats. Originally it was just like this, and it looked really, really empty and sparse. So instead I added, once again just using 4 pieces, I added this small little cutesy table build, and it has helped tremendously with the overall visual weight. Just once again, it balances out the seats and the space in between them. So really, a lot of my tips and tricks can just be summed up with balance the visual weight. Make sure that the model looks balanced. You don't want like there to be a mountain on one side and it's just gonna be flat ground, because that looks very, very uneven. Another modified interior is the Ford Anglia. In the original model, there was a bracket that juts straight out of here, and it wasn't tiled at all. It looked really, really horrible. So what I did was that I tiled it and I made it so that two minifigures could seat side by side. And it looks so much better now, and I really, really dig the new look. And I hope you like it too. The last tip is a bit of a controversial one, and this is about using tiles. Now, some people, and maybe even you included, like the look of Lego studs. And I get the novelty. Lego is meant to be a building toy, and the entire system is built around the stud and anti-stud connection, so it makes sense that you want to show off like the primary feature of Lego. However, I always found studs to be a bit distracting, a bit rough, so I try to tile off most areas where there are studs that are possible to tile. For example, here, originally there's just this blank slate of studs here. I added another layer of tiles on top, and I think it looks way smoother and more sleek. However, you have to be wise about where you tile. For example, I didn't tile up here because I wanted there to be that smooth transition between the roof that slopes down onto this layer. If I added a tile over here, it would just be one flat line, which is not really visually interesting. I hope you found my tips and tricks interesting. If you want to see more interesting set modifications like this, there's a video linked right up there which shows you how to seat two minifigures side by side in a 6-wide vehicle. So that's it for this one. If you enjoyed it, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It will be greatly, greatly appreciated. Until next time, bye bye.